Hey guys, Zor here from ZorGameGeek.com. Today we're going to talk some more about the Gumshoe role-playing game system. Today we're going to talk about two related but not identical abilities, stability and sanity. Now, Gumshoe games are generally games of cosmic existential horror, Lovecraftian horror. That's where its roots are. And as a major theme of the Lovecraftian Cthulhu mythos is that knowledge is at the expense of your sanity. Because the knowledge that you're seeking is about these weird, bizarre beings, this truth of the world that is beyond the four dimensions that we know. And to understand those beings is to break your mind. So there's this tension between trying to know those things and trying to stay sane. That is the tension. So this is expressed in the Gumshoe system by two different abilities. Now, not all of the settings have both abilities. The more explicit Cthulhu mythos settings have both. These include Trail of Cthulhu and The Fall of Delta Green. Others may have both. Those are the two primary ones that are very straightforwardly Cthulhu mythos. The other ones, like Esoterrorists or the Night's Black Agents game, they just have stability, okay? So, the other thing to keep in mind about these two stats is they are general abilities. So they are part of that same pool of abilities that you're spending points on at character creation. Most games you start with 65 points that you're spreading between shooting and athletics and driving and filch, pickpocketing. And I'm trying to think of some of the other abilities off the top of my head. Stealth, things like that. General abilities are those abilities whose outcome is uncertain. So you got to roll a dice, and it's a D6, and you got to get a 4 or better, generally, to succeed. And you have ranks, which gives you a pool of, if you have 8 ranks in shooting, you have 8 pool points, and each pool point you spend in an investigation gives you a +1. Your sanity, your stability, are part of that same pool, just like your health is as well. And so each point you are spending in your stability or your sanity is at the expense of some other ability that you can use to do things in game. Now, like health, these are a measure of your reserve, okay? And with stability only, sanity is a slightly different rule. With stability, you go from whatever your pool is, and you start with 1, whatever the pool is that you've purchased up, and it goes down to -12. And when you go down to -12, you have an incurable mental illness. You are raving at that point. And your character exits stage right. Usually in one of those suits where they can't get their arms, straight jackets, can't get their arms out. And there's people in white coats, and they say very calming things to you, and everything is going to be okay. It's not. All right, so stability has that dynamic to it. When you get below 0, you have to start making some composure rolls, okay? You have to start making rolls to keep your stuff together, all right? So you don't want to be like that character in the movie Aliens. Game over, man, game over. That character just lost it. He just failed his stability roll, okay? So when you get below 0, you have to start making your stability rolls. And the difficulty number to maintain that is the absolute value of your current stability number. So I know there's math. Absolute value, if you're at a -3, the absolute value is 3. So you got to roll a 3 or better on a D6. Well, if you want to guarantee a success, like any other general ability test, you can spend points to give you a +1 per point. So you can spend 2 points to get to an automatic 3, because you roll a 1, you got your point, you succeeded. Well, where are those 2 points coming from? They're your stability points, all right? So you spend 2 points, and so you're not raving crazy yet. You're not losing it. You've not lost it. But now your stability is at a -5 instead of a -3. These next rounds, that cycle gets harder and harder as you're spiraling to try to hold it together. Now with Sanity, it's a little bit different of a mechanic. When you get to 0, you're done. Not -12, 0. And when you fail some stability rolls, then you will not only potentially lose some stability, but you also might lose some sanity. There's another way of losing sanity, and this comes specifically again from these Cthulhu mythos games. In Fall of Delta Green and Trail of Cthulhu, there is this investigative ability that is your knowledge of the Cthulhu mythos. In Trail, it's called Cthulhu Mythos. In the Fall of Delta Green, it's called the Unnatural. And these are investigative abilities. You're invoking them and you know the answer to them. But each point, each rank you have in that permanently decreases your maximum sanity, okay? Because your sanity can go up and down. It takes some treatment, literally some therapy, to get your stability and sanity back up. But so the moment you get any points in the Cthulhu mythos or the Unnatural, your sanity is capped out at 9. Okay, that is your max sanity now. And you want to be able to push and learn more, and so you go to 2 points or you go to 3 points. Now, your maximum sanity goes from 9 to 8 to 7. So again, there's this tension between your knowledge and your sanity. Also, if you spend those points, then you have to make a stability check. And if you fail that stability check, then generally it's a stability 4, unless it's something really, well, knowledge, okay? You're generally 4, but if you're reading something, you're trying to understand something that's really horrific, the keeper may push that number up higher, but generally a 4. And if you fail, you're now losing sanity because you are making you're really fully understanding what's going on here. So that's the tension with that's the resource, that's the spend down, the spiral that happens in these Gumshoe games when you have stability and sanity. Now, what's the difference, you say? Stability is your ability to keep it together, to show them that you're not sweating, okay? That you are not a raving lunatic. Now, if that gets down to -6 to -11, you may have a mental illness. You may have a quirk. And these games deal with mental illnesses. And so if that's a problem for you, you may want to shy away from these games, depictions and role-playing mental illnesses. And there's a list of mental illnesses that they talk about in these games and how they should be demonstrated. Your sanity is which reality do you believe is true? This causal reality, cause and effect for dimensions that we know about, or this crazy town reality where we have these great old ones and elder gods and other outer beings that are true and exist outside of causal reality as we know it, outside of physics as we know it. Which reality do you believe is true? And stability, your ability to keep it in. So you may not be completely incurably insane, but still raving because you've lost it. Or you may be as rational as you can be and you are persuasive and you got it all together, but what you believe is cray-cray. Crazy Town Express. Sanity and stability in Gumshoe. All right, guys. If you want to learn more about character creation in the Gumshoe role-playing game, please go to zorgamegeek.com/GumshoeCreate. Link is below. Again, that is zorgamegeek.com/GumshoeCreate. Okay, guys. Thanks for listening. Keep gaming.